Hey guys, welcome back and congratulations. This module explores the ethical challenges of AI in UI and UX design, including data privacy, bias in AI models, and the importance of transparency and human oversight. As a participant in this course, you will learn the strategies to create ethical AI-driven designs while ensuring compliance and legal standards. So guys, what do we have on our agenda? First things first, we are going to start by talking about data privacy and security, and then move ahead to talk about avoiding bias in AI models. Furthermore, we are going to go ahead to discuss about ethical design practices. And then finally, we are going to be talking about ethical considerations in AI decision making systems. And that's beautiful, guys. Now, let's begin with the first item on our agenda, which is data privacy and security. At this stage, it is important to understand that AI-powered UI UX solutions often collect and analyze user data, raising privacy concerns. Designers must ensure that AI-enhanced experiences respect user rights and also comply with legal frameworks. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about some of the key data privacy concerns in AI-driven UI and UX. First on our list, we have what we call the user data collection. With this, AI systems gather user data for personalization, asking questions like, how can designers ensure ethical use? Next is what we call the AI generated insights. With this, AI predicts user behavior, asking key data privacy questions like, does it invade privacy? Next is what we call the data storage and security. With this, it involves protecting user information from breaches and unauthorized access. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about some of the privacy laws and compliance standards. First on our list, we have what we call the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation. This is simply an EU law that is regulating data privacy. Next is what we call the CCPA, which is the California Consumer Privacy Act. This is simply a data protection law for California residents. Next on our list, we have what we call the HIPAA, which is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This is simply an act that protects medical data in digital experiences. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about how AI supports data security. First things first, we have what we call the AI-powered anonymization. This hides personal identifiers in data sets. Next is what we call the automated threat detection. With this, AI detects security vulnerabilities in real time. Next is what we call data encryption with AI. With this, AI-driven tools enhance encryption in order to protect user data. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, it is time for us to carry out some practical exercise. In this practical exercise, it is expected of you to analyze an AI-powered product's privacy policy and then evaluate its compliance with GDPR or CCPA. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about the next item on our agenda, which is avoiding bias in AI models. With these, AI models are trained on large data sets, but if this data set contains biased information, the resulting AI decision may be unfair or discriminatory. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about some of the common AI bias issues in UI and UX. First on our list, we have what we call the representation bias. With this, AI favors one demographic over another due to the skewed training data. Next is what we call the algorithmic bias. With this, AI models reinforce stereotypes unintentionally. Next is what we call the data sampling bias. With this, there is insufficient diversity in data that leads to inaccurate prediction for underrepresented users. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's move ahead to talk about some of the strategies to reduce AI bias in UI and UX. First on our list, we have what we call the diverse training data. This ensures that data sets includes diverse user groups. Next is what we call the bias detection tool. This makes use of AI fairness tool like IBM Watson OpenScale. Next is what we call the human oversight. Remember, we are still talking about strategies to reduce AI bias in UI and UX. With this, AI should support and not replace human decision making. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, what are some of the case studies that are involved in ethical dilemmas in AI powered personalizations? The first example is the Facebook's algorithmic bias. With this, AI driven content personalization unintentionally creates echo chambers, thereby limiting exposure to diverse viewpoints. Next example is the Amazon AI hiring tool. With this, AI recruitment systems showed bias against women due to biased training data. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, it is time for us to carry out some practical exercise. In this practical exercise, it is expected of you to audit an AI driven recommendation system for potential bias and then suggest ways to mitigate it. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, it is time for us to move over to the next item on our agenda, which is ethical design practices. Now, it is important to understand that as AI automates decision making in UI and UX, ethical design practices ensure transparency, fairness, and user trust. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about some of the principles of ethical AI in UI and UX design. First, we have what we call the transparency. With transparency, it clearly explains how AI-driven decisions are made. Next is what we call the user control. This allows users to adjust AI personalization settings. Next is what we call fairness and accountability. With fairness and accountability, it ensures that AI doesn't unintentionally discriminate. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's move ahead to talk about the balancing AI automation and human creativity. First, we have AI as an assistant, not a replacement. With this, designers should make use of AI in order to enhance creativity and not to replace human input. Next is the human in the loop approach. With this, it means that AI generated designs should always involve human reviews before implementation. Next is what we call the explainable AI. With this, AI systems should be interpretable and not black boxes. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, it is time for some practical exercise. In this practical exercise, it is expected of you to develop an ethical AI-driven UI framework focusing on transparency, fairness, and user control. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, it is time to move over to the next item on our agenda, which is ethical considerations in AI decision-making systems. At this stage, AI-driven interfaces often make decisions that impact users. So, whether it is approving a loan application or curating news feeds, it is important to understand that ethical considerations must guide these processes. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to talk about some of the key challenges in AI decision making. First is the autonomy versus human oversight, which makes us to ask questions like, when should AI be allowed to make independent decisions? With this, AI should enhance UX without exploiting user psychology. Next is what we call the accountability in AI-driven decisions. With this key challenge, it prompts questions like, who is responsible when AI makes a mistake? And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's take a look at some case studies that has to do with AI in content moderation. First is the YouTube's AI content moderation. With this, automated systems sometimes wrongly flags or demonetize content. Next is what we call the TikTok algorithm transparency. This talks more on how AI curates feeds and its ethical concerns. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, let's go ahead to carry out some practical exercise. In this practical exercise, it is expected of you to analyze an AI powered product and then assess the ethical implication of its decision making system. And that's beautiful, guys. So guys, it is time for a recap. As a participant, by the end of this model, it is expected of you to understand the importance of data privacy and security in AI-driven UI and UX. Additionally, it is also expected of you to learn strategies in order to identify and mitigate AI bias. Again, by the end of this model, as a participant, you will learn how to implement ethical design practices that prioritize user transparency and control. Again, by the end of this model, as a participant, you will learn how to implement ethical design practices that prioritize user transparency and control. And then finally, by the end of this model, as a participant, you will get to analyze AI powered decision making systems for ethical concerns. And that's beautiful, guys. Thanks for participating. See you in the next model.